In today's Torah teaching, Yishmael, he starts off in a bad direction. His father doesn't see it, but his wife, Abraham's wife, Sarah, sees it. Says, you got to send him away, together with the maidservant, Hagar. Not good influence around here. He doesn't want to do that. God comes to him and says, listen to your wife. He's a bad influence. He's not in a good place. He is involved in idolatry. He's involved in robbery and theft. He's involved in illicit sexuality. And he's a murderer to boot. Oh my gosh. God says, listen to your wife Sarah, what she tells you. And as Rashi says, she's a greater prophetess than he is a prophet. And therefore listen to her. The righteous. Welcome to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine. Coming to you for Chabad Zich and Kadesh, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We continue in the 28th letter, and actually concluded today. The Alter Rebbe is writing to his dear friend, colleague, and a mechutin, actually. Their grandchildren married each other. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Barditchev, the famous Rabbi Levi Yitzchak, who lost his son, Reb Meir. He's consoling him, comforting him. And he's explaining in the letter, why is it that the righteous woman, Miriam, who is the sister to Moshe and Aaron, to Moses and Aaron, that her passing, her death, is recorded in the Torah, juxtaposed to the law of the red heifer. So our sages in the Talmud to say, well, we learn a lesson from there. Just as the red heifer, the process brings someone who came in contact with death, it purifies them. Right? When you come in contact with a corpse, you need to be cleansed spiritually through the process of the red heifer in order to regain purity that you can then do the service in the Holy Temple, for example. So just as that brings a cleansing, so likewise, the passing of the righteous, Miriam is one case in point, when they pass away, they bring a cleansing. They bring atonement to the people, to the generation. So we went through a discussion yesterday. Why is it specifically the red heifer, which is really not a sacrifice on the altar? It's not at all on the altar brought. Actually, it's even done outside. As opposed to a sin offering, for example, that you put on the altar that is actual atonement. So it would seem that it would be more appropriate to bring or to compare it to a sin offering, but the Torah doesn't. So we explain that an offering on the altar is actually bringing a limited form of cleansing and atonement, as opposed to the red heifer. Red heifer is bringing forth the opposite of life, death. It is what we call the ultimate in impurities, when you come in contact with death. This is not about a fault. This is about a state of being, that you come in contact with death. Sometimes you have to. But what that does is make you not fit to serve in the temple, or to bring us, or to do a service in the temple. And you need cleansing. So this is a much greater accomplishment, in a sense, that the light that you touch in heaven above to bring life to a place that's the opposite of life that you come in contact with is utterly transcending of the world. It's taking darkness and turning it into light, bringing an atonement for the sins of the generation. So how do we understand that? So now we're going to go through some Kabbalistic Hasidic geography. So where this is coming from, that you can bring a cleansing to someone who comes in contact with death, right? That's accomplished through, again, the red heifer, the whole process. So, says the Alter Rebbe, it's known, it's known if you know the Eitz Chaim's teaching, that Abba, Father, in Kabbalistic jargon is the sphera, the divine attribute of Chachma, wisdom. And it draws its sustenance from a higher place, what we call the eighth mazel. Well, let's explain. There's a greater place, God's compassion, limitless compassion. That's called the 13 divine attributes of compassion. We say it in prayers every day. Hashem Hashem, Kel Rachum Bechanu Nerech Apayim Verav Chesed Veyemes Neitzer Chesed Lalafim. Neitzer Chesed is what we are. The eighth of the 13 divine attributes of compassion, of mercy, right? And this is metaphorically the divine beard. You know, many people think God has a beard. Well, he does, spiritually. Obviously not a physical beard. Don't think of God as this great sage with his beard, white beard in heaven, right? But there is the concept of the beard. And that's why we have a beard down here, because it reflects the divine compassion of the beard up there. And there are 13 tufts to the beard, right? And just like a beard, the hairs are very tenuous, the life that's in it, but it's so limited, the life, right, that you can cut it and you don't feel pain. Cut your finger, you feel pain, right? In any case, this is Neitzer Chesed, meaning Neitzer Chesed, which means he guards kindness. He guards kindness for 1,000 generations. In other words, you do good, God gives you kindness for 1,000 generations. The word Neitzer Chesed, meaning guards kindness, also, and you take those letters, also means will, divine favor, auspicious time of favor. Right? When does that happen? When is an auspicious time that God shows favor? That's when the righteous pass away. The righteous pass away. How is that elicited? Because everything that they did during their lifetime, the righteous, they surrendered their soul to God during their lifetime, giving everything in the divine service. In their prayers of the Shema, evening and morning, right? Which the Shema is about giving yourself over, completely surrendering to God, right? That is what the righteous is all about. It's nothing about them. It's all about what God needs from me, and they're completely given over. That is what they do that elicits on high that when they pass away, everything that they accomplished during their lifetime in the spiritual realm stays in the spiritual realm. But when they pass away, it now becomes revealed. It becomes revealed. Everything. Their Torah study, their prayers, their acts of loving kindness. Well, the acts of loving kindness might be revealed during their spiritual connection is revealed at the time of their passing. What does that mean? It's revealed. What does that mean? It means that the light of God is so powerful from everything they did during their lifetime that now it's revealed, and it brings atonement. It brings a cleansing. For what? For anything and everything. Even for the things that the people did, not for themselves, but the people of the generation did willfully against God. Deliberate sins. Deliberate sins that are more inferior than klipas noiga, that's a mixture of good and bad. Completely evil things. Their passing brings a cleansing and an atonement. Why? Because what's drawn from heaven above is Noitzer Chesed, as we said, the kindness of God. It's the kindness that is for 1,000 generations, that is now elicited because of their passing, and everything they did during their lifetime, right, is now being revealed, and that brings an atonement. Even for willful sins that the generation did, that people did in that generation of that person that passed away, that righteous person that passed away. Now that's different than a sin offering. A personal sin offering you can only bring when you did an inadvertent sin. If you do a deliberate sin, no offering can be brought on the altar. You can't get that deep in heaven above to bring a light that should bring a cleansing and an atonement. But when the righteous pass away, not only for themselves but for all of us, they bring such an atonement and a cleansing. That's why when Miriam passed away, the righteous woman, her passing is juxtaposed to the red heifer, because the red heifer brings out that idea. Right? The waters of purification, even for deliberate sins, of bringing such an impurity as the opposite of life, death, into a person's world, even cleanses that, just as the red heifer does. Very powerful idea. Very powerful idea. Any questions, any comments? Brett, to whom and in what form are these acts revealed upon the passing of the righteous person? How is this recognized? That's a real good question. I was thinking the same thing, Brett. I don't know. It's only recognized because the Alter Rebbe opened our eyes to the idea. How are you going to see cleansing and atonement? I don't know. Maybe part of it is because, when evil people die or get killed, all right, sort of like, kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. But when the righteous pass away, now, of course, we're used to people passing, whether they're righteous or wicked, right? But that being said, I think there's something inside of us that when a righteous person, even at an old age, passes away, it feels a little, it's painful. It's difficult. I wouldn't say that, not like we we kind of expect it, but I don't know if that's the right word, but it's painful. And maybe that brings out something in us, or reveals in us something. I'm not certain. I don't know how it reflects. It's a good question, Brett. I think because the Alter Rebbe taught us this, so now we're aware of it. I don't know how it would give expression It gives expression in the spirit, in our soul. I don't know how much it does, beyond that. And that means we got to be very attuned to our soul. Today, are there still righteous that are on the same level as past righteous? For sure. Yep. How to find them? Good question. What happens when the wicked pass away? They're gone. I mean, if they did good, that good does remain, but they're gone. Charities. In Israel, when the wicked pass away, you keep aware of the next wicked to be. I guess. Um, any other questions? I don't see. Welcome to Jeremy in Oakland, California. Mordechai in New England. Moshe in California. Joe is with us in Washington State. John in North Carolina. Michelle, welcome. Robert. Davida in Liba in New York. Brett in Pennsylvania. Sherry says we mentioned is in Israel. Simcha in Florida. Judith, welcome. Makla's in the Czech Republic. Who else? Madeleine. Ooh, her father just passed away. Baruch Dynamis. All right. So, may his soul go from strength to strength. May you be strong. And may God comfort you. Although probably it's a little early for that, but thank you, Leah. Yeah, last night we had a JLI first class of the Kabbalah course, the world of Kabbalah. Wow, it was pretty powerful stuff. It was unexpected that he passed away. All right, if there's anything I can do, Madeline, to help in any way, let me know. Okay, you can reach out. Batya is back. All right, and David, Montrealers, amazing. Sarah is in New York with us. Diane, welcome. Clem in Brisbane, Australia. Leah, Marcy, Vilma. Who else we have? Alice with Alice. The Rebbe is still cleansing our sins. Good question. How long does that last? Who does it affect? Okay. Good questions. I don't really have answers to that. Sorry. Jennifer is with us. Who else? Shameidale Akoya is with us in Peru. Tivia in New York, I think. Rachel in South Carolina. Should be gesund and well. Katya. Some others I can't make out exactly. Purifying water, where did one obtain? I mean, just river waters, lake water, that stream. Okay, folks, Rambam is coming. Brenda is with us from Norway. Welcome. and Vicky in California. TRC will be Sunday night, not today. Julia is with us. Welcome. Okay. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you for Chabad, Zurich and Kadesh, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share it with you, the Tanya. Those who didn't get a chance to sign up for the course, we can send you the link from yesterday's JLI class. It's really great stuff, as you can see people saying who came. And if you want to join, let us know. Rambam coming up. Have an amazing, great day. Thank you.